Right now, you can see him on the backstretch, a loaded, absolutely loaded field here in the women's invite section 1. Grace Connolly of Stanford, Audrey Didamio of Stanford, Alicia Konizek of Jackrabbit Elite, the Polish steeplechase star, Kaylee Mitchell, the stalwart stud for Oregon State, Ella Baran of Colorado, she is a monster in the Pac-12, Simone Plored of Utah, also big time in the Pac-12, Esther Gitahi running unattached, Rudy Smee of University of San Francisco, Glennis Sim of Vancouver Thunderbirds, Sophia Dudek, another of the trio of Stanford stars in this race, Hannah Branch running unattached, Sarah Carter of Colorado State, India Johnson, one of the stars of that Colorado Buffalo squad, Anna Marie Costarelis, one of the top 10,000 meter runners in the country for Baylor, Maddie Elmore, another Pac-12 star, Billy Hatch, one of the best runners in the Big Sky Conference out of Weber State, the All-American, Everlyn Kemboi of Utah Valley, WAC champion, 5-time WAC champion, Annabelle Stanford of Colorado State, Caroline Pomerleau unattached, Logan Jolly, formerly of Arkansas, running of A6, former All-American there, Alondra Negron of Poncaris, Allison Prey running unattached, Sydney Thorvaldsen of Arkansas, Brianna Weidler of UC Davis, Bella Williams of Utah, Claire Hennespa of Colorado State, Mazzy Mulaney of Utah Valley, Rachel McCardell of Northwestern, and then your pacer should be Emily Venters of Utah. This race, they were looking for, I believe, 74-second laps. That 74-second laps would put them at right around 15:25. We saw Taylor Rowe set the meet record at 15:21 last year. You can see Venters, that's the NCAA 10,000 meter leader for Utah. She's going to be pacing this race, and right on her shoulder from Arkansas, Sydney Thorvaldsen. Thorvaldsen has had a nice career. She's run 15:54 indoors. She already ran 33:03 at Stanford. At the front right now with a really loaded field behind her, that's kind of interesting, but Venters has things going right along there. Right behind Venters on the rail is Sophia Dudek of Stanford. Stanford has 3 athletes in this race. I think Dudek would be that kind of the tip of the sword for them. She was 13th indoors in the 5K, ran 15:40 cross country All-American. And then number 6, that's Plorde of Utah, Venters' teammate, one of the main reasons Venters out there pacing. Plorde ran 4:14 at Stanford. She was 4th indoors in the 3K, ran 8:53. The transfer from BYU, having a nice career right now for Utah, and that's sort of the key people there in the front pack. Who else do you see and who do you like in there, Kyle?
I mean, we were talking just at the beginning. I want to mention Emily Venters again. We were so surprised that she actually wasn't running this race herself, as she could be out there and winning it. She is our pacer here, though. Someone I actually really like. She's sitting in 7th or 8th right now. That is Everlyn Kemboi, multiple-time WAC champion. She was sitting in that 2nd spot in the 10K on our NCAA list before last night when we had so many women go under that, but I expect her to be right up at the front, as well as that Kaylee Mitchell. She's currently 15th in the NCAA. She had an 8th place finish at Stanford. She finished 12th and 10th in the mile and 3K in the indoor track and field champs.
And there's Venters, 3:44 at 1,200 meters. Remember, that will just be outside of 15:25 pace, so she's right on 15:30 pace, doing a good job. This is just a workout for Venters, the national leader at 10,000 meters. Kemboi was number 2 in the country, as you mentioned. Kemboi's teammate is in here as well. Mazzy Mulaney having a breakthrough season. Utah Valley, what a great program they have. Kemboi, you mentioned, 5-time WAC champ, cross country All-American.
Yeah, someone else. We got a third one in here as well, and Hannah Brand. She graduated after the cross-country season. She's an assistant coach now at Utah Valley, so she's in this race running unattached. She would be a multiple. She does have one WAC championship under her belt. She would be a multiple WAC champion if not for the presence of Everlyn Kemboi.
Yes, she was there second to Kemboi a number of times. Glynis Sim of Vancouver Thunderbirds sliding up there into third. Second, if you take Venters out, Venters is really making this thing go. She's not waiting for them. She's running the split she's supposed to run.
And she's pacing it really well right now.
You need Thorlinson to kind of close up and give these women a shot to be right there. You can also see Logan Jolly in the all-black kit for May6. They were right around 5 flat there. Just under 5 flat, so 15:30 is on the table. Logan Jolly, an excellent runner at the University of Arkansas. She was the NCAA mile champ indoors. She's run 4:33, so if it's turns into a kicker's race, keep an eye on Logan Jolly. She's in on the rail in all black. Venters just driving the train, thundering along here, and she has this field strung out. And really, there is maybe 7, 8 women that this is paced for. There's a lot of other women in there that are going to be happy to be just under 16, maybe 15:50, 16:05. So really, this pace is about setting up 5, 6, 7, 8 women at a chance to run 15:30 or faster. And we'll see if anybody's got the chops for it right now. It's the unattached runner. I believe that is Glynis Sim of Vancouver Thunderbirds, great Canadian runner there. And then look at Maria Costarellis of Baylor. She's number 4 in the NCAA 10K, at least coming in this weekend based on her run at Stanford. She ran 15:44 at indoors. Former Butler athlete and the former New Mexico athlete, and now found in her final home at Baylor and having a great year for the Bears.
Yeah, I really like what Thorvaldsen is doing too. She was in that second spot right behind Venters. She's moved back into the fourth, so we'll see if she can hold on. She doesn't really have a time to match up with some of the athletes here in this heat, but she's going for it early, and she set herself up really well to have a big performance.
Look at Kemboi there in third. I really like, you and I have both done some WAC stuff, and we've got to see Kemboi run. She's such a special runner, and I don't know if the country really knows a lot about her, and I'm hoping she has a big run right here, and so everyone can kind of learn about Everlyn Kemboi. She, being at Utah Valley, maybe doesn't get the exposure, but she has really kind of developed well there. She's been there 3 or 4 years, and this last year has kind of been coming into her own. She was 12th in cross country, All-American, and then just dominating the WAC conference, doubling, big-time doubles that she's run.
Big-time doubles and WAC records as well.
She was 12th in the 10K last year, so one of the top runners in the country coming back. 12th in cross country, 12th in the 10K. That's Kemboi there in third. They're giving Venters a little bit of space, but honestly, that pace that Venters is setting is for 15:25, 15:20. I think a lot of these women are going to be happy to run 15:30. I really like right now where Costarellis is of Baylor. She seems to be just kind of licking her chops, chomping at the bit, ready to go. She ran that big time 10K a couple of weeks ago.
Venters has moved off on the side. She did her job, so her pacing is done for the night. And that is Baylor moving up into that front spot. Kemboi's trying to cover in that 2.
Keep an eye on Sophia Dudek of Stanford, kind of at the back end of that group in all red there. Is that Mulaney there? No, that's number 3. That's the Polish steeplechase star, Alicia Konijak, right behind Dudek. Dudek has run 15:40 indoors, was 13th in the 5K indoors, cross-country All-American. And look at Kemboi. Now she goes right with Costarellis. So it's Costarellis and Kemboi, the two 10,000-meter stars. They battled 2 weeks ago at Stanford, so they're familiar with each other. There's got to be a confidence there that Kemboi knows she can run with Costarellis. And now that next group is kind of making the decision if they want anything that Costarellis is serving up right now. And the only person that wants a taste of that right now is Everlyn Kemboi. So it's Costarellis and Kemboi. And then the next group, you can see Jolly there trying to maybe bridge back up
Yeah, I'd expect Kinesiak, you mentioned her before, I'd expect her to try to make some moves in the next couple laps as well. She used to run for Western Colorado University and then on athletics. Now she runs for Jackrabbit. She has a gold medal at the Euro Championship, so she knows what it means to run fast in these faster races. She's maybe not necessarily a 5K runner, but she's still at the top, at the back of that chase pack. I'd like to see her make some moves, but we still got those top two, and they're starting to branch out.
You also never know where the post-collegiate athletes are in their training. Like we're in the
That's true.
This is a raging river. Where they're in the middle of a raging river of a collegiate season. These athletes are dialed in. They had a big indoor season. They're rolling outdoors, and some of these athletes, the professional athletes, are just kind of shaking off rust right now. And some like Nikki Hiltz, we saw them run a world-leading mark, but others are just kind of shaking off rust. And so we got Kostarellis and Kemboi. Kemboi just shadowing Kostarellis. Do you think that Kemboi has a spot in mind where she wants to go if she feels good, or is she just going to keep riding Kostarellis until they get into those later stages?
Yeah, she definitely has a kick, but she's more of a consistent runner through the whole race. I doubt she'll make a move early and just try to kind of wait on and see. She probably has a pace that she wants to run, and she's just setting with that right now.
Simone Plord of Utah, with a mile to go. Simone Plord of Utah is running well. Now she's run 4:14 for 1,500, 8:53 for 3K, so she's got some wheels.
Yeah, I'd like to see if she is close, or this chase pack is close towards that end, if they're able to group this gap up a little bit more. If she's within striking distance, that could be a really fun finish.
Yeah, so those kind of 15 3K women laid off this pace that the 10K specialists are kind of putting it on the field. Kostarellis of Baylor and Kemboi of Utah Valley. And that is Esther Gattati of running unattached. She ran 15:35 indoors. Gattati of Kenya. Excellent athlete there. She has run 15:35, so we know she has the chops to be there again. As post-collegiate, we don't know where the training's at, but let's just keep an eye on this battle right now. Kostarellis and Kemboi. Kemboi has not even pulled to her shoulder. She's staying in on the rail. She's just being patient. You wonder if she's got a spot in mind, or if she just wants this to come down to a kick over the final 2 laps. But they need to be careful they don't let Plord back in this, or Jolly. Jolly, remember, she's a 4:33 miler. She has wheels, and if they let Jolly anywhere close, either Jolly or Plord, you gotta watch out. So Kostarellis seems to be working a little harder than Kemboi. You wonder at some point, does Kemboi take a look back and see that Plord is closing and maybe start to pull to Kostarellis' shoulder? And maybe that's happening as we speak right now. On cue, there goes Kemboi to Kostarellis' shoulder. It's almost like she had an earpiece in and heard me saying that. Now it's Kemboi to the front.
That's a great call, Scott.
With just about a kilometer to go, 12:26, or that's the mark she picked. Kilometer to go, 12:26. They're on 15:30 pace up front. Maybe 15:40 pace for that next group. I think we could see a sub 15:30 run. I think 15:21, the run by Taylor Rowe, is out of the question. Look at Plord come right now.
She's really hawking him down right now.
I am really impressed with Plord right now, and she has got them in her tractor beams, and she is pulling them in. They're in her force field. Plord is going to be trouble here over the final 800 meters, and if they are not careful, Kemboi has got to change gears and start pouring it on, because Plord is running probably 2 seconds a lap faster than them right now. We'll see if they can change gears. Do you think Plord blows right by, or does she tuck in? We'll see.
I think she tries to get past
Kostarellis
right now, but Kemboi's kind of putting it on, and Kemboi has a kick as well. I don't know if it can match the 4:15,
but also the work
that 1500
Plord has been doing over the last kilometer. It's more of a sustained move. I don't know if she has another gear. She's having trouble getting by Kostarellis. I feel like if she could have, she would have already gone by. And there's Kemboi. There goes Plord.
There she goes. Yeah, she's going to want to try to catch Kemboi early.
Kemboi and Plord. Look at Dudek of Stanford running well back there. I don't want to lose sight of them. There's a bunch of women that are going to break 15:40 for the first time outdoors. And look at Kemboi roll. She is trying to stay clear of Plord. They're coming up on the bell. This is going to be very fast. 15:20 is probably out of the question, but maybe 15:25. Everlyn Kemboi, we'll see where that puts her on the national list.
You're looking
and
back
Taylor
a little bit.
Plord. How about the University of Utah? Emily Venters and Plord.
I think Kemboi has another gear here.
Simone
She's starting
Plord.
to open this up a little bit. We'll see if Plord can respond, but that meter's been consistently right around 10 to 15 meters. Both of them are heavily increasing pace right now.
Evelyn Kemboi, the All-American. We talked about her having a moment, and this might be it, where the nation takes note of Everlyn Kemboi as a potential NCAA championship threat. But then there's also the University of Utah could have top athletes in both the 10K. Look at Simone Plord. Simone Plord is pouring it on. The BYU transfer, gone to Utah.
Here we go. Plord is going. 200 meters left.
Kemboi and Plord with 150 to go. Now they're going to have contact coming home. Plord is in full send mode. Kemboi is at the top end. Who can empty their tank and win this championship?
Now she's
Kemboi has another gear. She keeps looking back. She's turning away a top 1,500 meter runner. Everlyn Kemboi has every tool in her bag, and she runs 15:20, breaks the meet record, and wins. What a run by Everlyn Kemboi. We called it on lap 3. We said we wanted her to have a moment, and she did. Everlyn Kemboi, Utah Valley State. What a run.
And that's a new Division I lead for Everlyn Kemboi, a 10-second lead on that. Plord also under that time, so Jolly would be as well. She's a professional, though, running for A6.
And his great run for Zavia Dudek. It's 15:32. Kanijik came from back. You mentioned that she looked good. She got up 15:30, so some pros showing form there. Ella Barron was off the pace, moved well. Kaylee Mitchell, someone we talked about earlier, part of that great duo for Coach Louis Quintana at Oregon State. Grace Featherstone and Kaylee Mitchell, a stalwart duo for Oregon State. The Pac-12 looking really good there. Dudek, Mitchell, and Plord, and Baran of Colorado. I don't even want any part of the Pac-12 5,000. You got to throw in Venters as well, and the rest of the Stanford crew. I don't want any part of that. But another person I don't want any part of is Everlyn Kemboi. She has every tool. She pushed from pretty far out, and then she had another gear to hang on and win. What a run. Taylor Rowe was unbelievable a year ago, and we just saw two women run just as fast, if not faster. Kemboi, a stud. I love it. Everlyn Kemboi.